Welcome back. The men's basketball team is coming off a loss against rival South Alabama at home, which always stings. What hurts even more is that the loss meant the Trojans were swept by the Jags this season as well. But the mood in the locker room isn't gloomy. The team isn't pressed. They're not worried. They know what they have to do these last 8 games. Head coach Phil Cunningham gives a better outlook.
We're right in the middle of it now. I mean, we have to go on the road and get some wins. The only thing, there's too much emotion in that locker room right now. There's not a whole lot you can talk about because it's a loss. It stings, but we've got to find a way to fight back because we're a good team. Just look at the teams we've beaten. We're a good team, and we've got to muster up one more run down the stretch here.
The Trojans are back on the road again this weekend in Louisiana, taking on both Monroe and Lafayette. First up are the Raging Cajuns of Lafayette, whom the Trojans will see Saturday night at 7:15 p.m. The Trojans have had an up-and-down season so far, but they can break their .500 record with a win Saturday night.
The women's basketball team is coming off a huge win on Thursday night over Louisiana Monroe. That matchup was one Coach Rigby thought would give her team some trouble, but if that outcome is any indication of how the remainder of the weekend will go for the Trojans, then that's certainly a positive sign. The Trojans head into Cajun territory and communication could get a little tough. Take a listen.
Last year, we got over there, we had a 13 to 15 point lead at halftime and came out the second half and the fans started pouring in mainly for the men's game, and there got to be about 4,500 fans in there, and they were on their feet yelling and screaming like another player on the floor for Lafayette. Our players couldn't hear a word we were saying, and we weren't used to that, and we ended up dropping that game. So we're taking some precautions to prepare for that before we head over there. We're turning up the music in the practice gym really loud so our players cannot hear what we're saying on the sideline, and depending on our coaches on the floor, like Amanda Mendoza and some of our other players, to direct things on the court for us.
Hello. Hello. Did you get that? Roger. But in all honesty, that could be what Saturday night will sound like for the Trojans in Cajun territory in the Cajun Dome. The Trojans and Raging Cajuns tip off at 5 p.m. Saturday night.
Troy softball left for Boca Raton, Florida Wednesday, where they opened their season Friday. But Wednesday night, they concluded their last practice before hitting the road for their season opener. And speaking of hitting, there's head coach Beth Mullins hitting some fly balls to her girls. Mullins enters her 3rd year as the head coach, and she totes an impressive 63-48 record. Mullins has under her some talented Warrior Trojans by the names of Carly Kaler, Becca Hartley, and Erica Davis. Kaler hit for a .298 average with 10 doubles and 7 homers last season. Troy native Becca Hartley enters as an Iron Woman after she played in all 56 games last season, and Davis returns after scoring 46 runs. Coach Mullins on how the team is preparing ahead of this weekend's action.
As coaches, we watch a lot of film, prepare and all that stuff. As the girls just, implement the things that we want them to do at practice, and they've done a great job. I mean, they've worked their butts off the last 4 weeks and implemented a lot of things that we see that we're going to need to do to be successful against the 5 teams we play down there. And so I've been happy with our practices. It's been really quality.
The Trojans will play 5 games over this weekend's span.
The women's track and field team will return to the Birmingham Crossplex Friday to compete in the Sanford Open, the last indoor meet before the Sun Belt Conference Championships, while the men's track and field team's next competition will not come until the Sun Belt Conference Championships beginning on February 20th. Following the indoor season, the outdoor season begins on March 3rd.
The men's golf season is still 1 week away from teeing off, but they are practicing and getting some swings in over at the golf complex. Though the season has yet to start, it's never too early to take a peek at Sun Belt Conference competition, especially since the Trojans are the reigning champions, as head coach Matt Terry explains.
They realize they've got a lot of work to do to get themselves back to that level, and no one's going to hand us the trophy. I mean, it's going to be one of those things where we're going to have to fight, just like we did last year for it. I feel like our team's really good, but Georgia State, is going to be a big factor. So is South Alabama. I mean, they've started playing better with a new coach, and I look for them to play well, and you just never know what may happen in our league.
The men's golf team will tee off in Gainesville, Florida next Friday, taking part in the Gator Invitational.
Coming off a tough defeat at the hands of Miami, Florida, the Troy men's tennis team will have their first home match of the season February 13th against North Florida. The women's team will search for their first win of the season February 12th on the road against South Florida. That's all the time we have for Trojan Sports Now. Check us out online at youtube.com/Troy Trojan Vision to catch anything you missed.
For Jahmal Kennedy, I'm Kyle Shook. Thanks for watching, and as always,
Go
Trojans.